welcome to Alongside Lauren. I'm Lauren and I'm so glad that I get to spend a little bit of time on this Sunday afternoon getting a few bits and pieces prepared to make the coming week just that little bit easier. We are on holidays at the moment in my household. Our obligations associated with Christmas are all finished and done, and I feel like I should be feeling all zen and calm. But I'm not quite yet. I'm still sort of in the mode of trying to get bits and pieces done and actioned and getting a few of my sewing projects underway as well. But I'm sure that I'll probably feel nice and relaxed just about the time that it's ready for me to go back to work.
Exactly. Yes. Hi, I'm Heath. I am Lauren's sous chef and husband. What are we doing today?
Well, normally we would be spending our Sunday afternoons getting bits and pieces prepared for breakfasts, lunches and dinners for the coming week. But because our plans are a little bit loose in terms of what we're going to be doing, that's taking a back seat.
Ooh, okay.
And so rather than being focused on cramming all of the vegetables into the week that I normally do with our weeks ordinarily, I'm making cookies.
All right. Okay.
So some may
Great.
say it's an overcorrection.
Excellent.
They're probably right.
Okay. Well, I can see some cookie trays right now
So
on
I
the
have
table
got
here.
some cookie trays ready to go, and I have also got some logs of cookie dough that I have already made. So this was using up some chocolate that I had just languishing around the house. A little bit more than the recipe had asked for. I've got about 200 grams worth of chocolate in here instead of the 150 grams. But I think it's probably better to have a little bit more chocolate than not enough. You reckon?
Absolutely.
I reckon. So I made the cookie dough. It is hot and humid where we are in southeast Queensland at the moment. So hot, so humid. And I find that the cookies tend to bake a little bit better when if they're kind of going in chill.
Chill.
So
That would have made sense to nobody.
A deep cut for
Batman and Robin.
Robin.
Yes. Yes. Alrighty. Okay.
So the first cookie was
Was it the end piece?
the end
So
piece,
yes.
so that's okay.
Yeah. So it's just a puny little guy.
So I've got the log and I'm going to put slices of the cookie dough that are about 1 centimetre, would you say, in diameter?
In thickness?
In thickness, I should yeah, in thickness.
Yeah.
And we've got a mixture of milk chocolate and dark chocolate here.
And it looks like you are not following the guideline of where to put the cookies.
No, I'm not. Mostly because so this is like a silicone sort of reusable baking tray.
Yep.
That's probably a bit more than that 1 centimetre. And because it's just a little bit too big for the oven tray that I'm putting it on, I think that if I followed the guidelines in full, that would be a suboptimal outcome.
No, fair enough. Well, at least they come out really uniform when you've cut them in a log.
Yeah, I just, you can, I probably should have left this in the fridge a little bit longer. You absolutely can just roll teaspoons, but I find, well, if you think that my ability to cut, there we go.
Getting a system?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, my ability to cut consistently is not great. My ability to roll teaspoons is way worse.
So what were all the steps you went through to prepare this dough?
Well, I chopped up the chocolate. So this was not like sort of chocolate drops. It was blocks of chocolate. which is probably why I'm struggling to cut through some of those pieces there. And creaming, butter and sugar, two types of sugar here. So we've got brown sugar and white sugar, which will just lead to a really beautiful consistency with the cookies.
And they're also, it was leftover chocolate that was nice, but not our favourite.
No.
And so it's the perfect opportunity to put it into something to enhance it.
I'll put that one there because I think I'm just a bit concerned if I try and maybe I can get it to.
Do you expect them to flatten out a fair bit?
They will flatten out. I don't know if it'll sort of flatten out. There we go. Excellent. Tray 1 is done.
So I'm assuming that there's a second log.
There is a second log. So that's... I'm not great at the counting. 6, 8, 11, 13, 16. There's 16 there. The recipe is meant to make 30, so that's pretty on point.
Well, they look great so far.
We have
You got your
the
second log.
log.
So you just glad wrap it up
Yep.
and you chill it to make it firm. Is that the point?
Yeah.
Or is there
to
another
make
benefit?
it firm so that it's and that makes it the dough itself easier to work with, but it also means that it will spread. Jeez, I did a good job of confusing myself with that cloud drop. Hey, she found the start. Oh my gosh, I'm just
It's like
getting
finding the start of a sticky tape.
I know. I was going to say flashbacks to Christmas wrapping, but you did all of that, so that would be.
Now, finding the start of sticky tape is only a problem if you don't have one of those dispenser things. The dispensers are very, very important at Christmas. Also very important.
There we go.
Christmas was wonderful, wasn't it?
It was.
We got to see some family,
We did.
do a little bit of travelling. It was also good.
They are reasonably sized chocolate chips, which
Right.
is why it is occasionally a little bit hard to cut.
Oh, I think you're doing great.
But I think it is nice to have reasonably sized chocolate chips in your chocolate chip cookie. Even if it is slightly annoying to cut.
One of the greatest things about making choc chip cookies is the mixing bowl ends up with a little bit of cookie dough mixture.
Yes.
And
And Heath was very helpful in helping me.
yeah, it's a team effort, I think.
It is a team
It's
effort.
a team effort to clean that bowl before... It's a pre-clean before it goes into the dishwasher. Very, very important.
It is very important. Thank you for your service, darling. Now, the biggest difficulty that we have at the moment is my intention was to make these and then freeze them for the next time we're on church morning tea.
Oh, yeah.
But
If they're tasty,
yes,
is the challenge that we may want to eat them instead.
yes.
I agree. Wholeheartedly. It's a bit of a jigsaw puzzle, isn't it?
It is. It is. So there's 3, 5, 8, 10, 11, 15. So we'll get 31 cookies, all things being equal.
Great.
And we'll pop these in. So the oven's just preheated to 180. The recipe sort of says to cook them for 10 to 12 minutes. We probably prefer our cookies on the slightly
Undercooked.
less cooked.
Mm-hmm. I think that's pretty typical of people, especially choc chip cookies, hey?
I think so, but then it's like the whole argument with how people like to have their Anzac biscuits. Some people like them a bit chewy.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like them wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So we cooked, I bought on, do you want a little bit of,
Yep, absolutely.
I got some, this is really good. A Cabernet Sauvignon from Pfeiffer Winery, which we discovered this time last year, actually.
Yeah, it was. We discovered Pfeiffer. It was a great winery. We went there with some family and had a really good wine tasting there.
So good.
They had a very good range, and I really enjoyed the experience of tasting their wines.
It was wonderful. A really, really wonderful tasting.
It was good tasting. And as a result, well, it also helped that their wines were nice.
Yes.
As a result, we bought some wine.
We did.
And then we bought some more. Mm-hmm. And then a bit more.
Yeah. So we prepared so we had a wonderful Christmas, and everyone just pulled out all the stops to contribute some fantastic dishes for Christmas. Heath and I did a taco salad, and the long story of why that's a great Christmas tradition. It was delicious, and we've also thoroughly enjoyed living off the leftovers for the last few days as well.
A taco salad, for those that don't know, is a regular salad with taco mince and
corn chips
and
like
sour
macaroni
cream
pasta
and a little bit of macaroni pasta. But yes,
it's delicious.
basically a normal salad.
Bit bogan, but delicious.
Absolutely amazing.
And we also did a slow cooked brisket, which was fantastic.
That went
there was
really well.
Ham, roast veggies, and salad, and just all the trimmings. It was amazing.
Dessert.
And then dessert. My gosh, and we rolled home afterwards.
Yeah.
The one thing that was missing, that was a little bit different, is we didn't do turkey. We normally do turkey, and it just didn't feel quite right to not have turkey at this time of year. So I came across some turkeys on clearance at the supermarket on Friday. So I picked up a turkey, and we cooked a 5-kilo turkey initially for the two of us. For the two of us. Mum and Dad very graciously assisted with consuming it last night.
They took on that burden of coming over and being fed
hard
turkey,
for them.
taking home some leftovers.
And
actually, it was really good because
there's so much turkey.
There was
for
so
two
much
people.
turkey left.
There is still so much turkey for two people.
Correct.
But when I was doing some research of what we could do with the leftovers, I came across a dish. I'm going to completely mispronounce it. I think it's called maftello. I don't know. It's basically you get yourself a sort of round or oval loaf of bread. So like a cob loaf or something along those lines, and then you cut the sort of lid on the top of the loaf out, and then you scoop out the interior of the bread dough, sort of leaving the crust there. That interior has gone into the freezer and will feature probably in some meatballs that we'll have in the coming weeks, because the way to Heath's heart is absolutely meatballs. He is shameless about it, and that's fine. And
do you love my meatballs?
And then we layered basically the leftovers that we had from our turkey dinner. So I put a layer of gravy on the bottom of it, and then added in some roasted garlic cloves, leftover roast veg. So we had Brussels sprouts, potato, sweet potato, capsicum, broccoli in there with some baby spinach and some chopped up leftover cooked turkey and a ridiculous amount of cheese, because it wouldn't be a dish that we had created if there was not an unnecessary amount of cheese, as well as a little bit more spinach, and then topped it up with our house-made cranberry sauce, which is basically just cranberries that I reconstitute in a lot of red wine. It's delicious. And then you put the lid back on the loaf of bread, pop it, and then I put a little bit of olive oil on top. You meant to make a melted garlic butter and brush it on there, but I just could not have been bothered. So olive oil, some nice cracked pepper, salt, and dried porcini mushroom mix, and wrapped it all up in alfoil. Put a really heavy pot on top of it, and then baked it in the oven for 20 minutes. Took the pot off, opened up the alfoil, and then just let it crisp up for the last sort of 10 minutes or so. We took it out a little bit earlier because we're worried it was getting a little bit too crispy. It was so delicious. It made enough to feed 4, so I've done that thing that I really hate doing, where I've made leftovers with the leftovers, but that's fine. It will be a delicious lunch tomorrow. I thought I might just show you what it looks like, just a cross section. Like, I cannot express how delicious this was. And I reckon, like, just how good is that? Just that cross section. So you can see there, like, the 2 layers of spinach, got the gravy there, cranberry sauce there, roast veg there, cheese there, and the turkey there. Unfortunately, the pot didn't quite, it sort of moved to the back a little bit, so it's not quite as flat as what I would like it.
But sliced up, it just looked amazing.
Oh,
and it tasted amazing. I will say it was tricky to eat.
Yep.
It was a little bit tricky to eat.
There were bits that kept falling out, so...
Yep, but it was fine. You just picked them up and kept going and didn't let it get to you.
And I reckon, like, with a little bit of practice... That is delicious. And I think that is going to become a bit of a tradition of what we do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when we have like Christmas and other sort of meals. Ooh.
We'll definitely do it for ourselves. I'm wondering how we do it for others, because it is such a messy food to eat.
I think like
you almost need a knife and fork to use it, to eat it. But
yeah, we do it for family.
But it was amazing.
Or we make everyone like eat it in the dark.
And as we were slicing it up, I took a photo of it, but we might be able to share it a little bit later. As we were slicing it up, it's just awesome. Yeah, and the cheese melting through it all and everything. Yeah, it was very, very good. Quite a surprise. A very successful surprise, I think.
It was, not something that we had ever sort of made before, but I love the fact that we're still able to continue to find new dishes, and I'm always on the quest to find something new and exciting that we're able to do with our leftovers, so that we're able to make them taste amazing. Yeah, it was and delicious.
It was very, very good. Very good.
This is also very good. I also just got like a really good whiff of the cookies.
I can smell them right now. Yes.
Very technical term. They smell amazing.
They do. They smell really, really good. What else has been going on since we last saw you guys? We had our church Christmas carols. That was fantastic. A really, really good night. We had a very good time. It was very hot.
It was so hot.
But we had a very good time. Yep.
It was really, really good. And I also, we were able to consume the fruitcake that I had made with our home dried.
Home dried, yes.
Home dried honeydew melon. Yeah, don't say that 10 times.
Dehydrated. Home dehydrated.
And the fruitcake was delicious, and we've been able to take it to a couple of different bits and pieces, and even enjoyed it after our roast turkey dinner with Mum and Dad last night. We've still got a little bit left to go.
Actually, speaking of yum leftovers, today the morning tea that you took to church was actually a meal that you made a while back, which was effectively a bread and butter pudding slice.
Yes.
Which is amazing.
With pear, date, and ginger. It tasted amazing. It was not necessarily...
No, it was amazing, hun.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
Just maybe not necessarily a morning tea food, which is fine.
Which was fine because there were 5 pieces left.
Yes.
So we got to take them home.
There are now only 3 pieces left.
Yeah,
And
only
I'm
3
sorry, but
pieces left.
after tonight, there
There'll
will be
probably
no
no
pieces.
pieces left, yes.
Because it is the right thing to do. To
But
use
it was such a cool way to use bread
Mm.
and get that bread and butter pudding flavour, which is just delicious. Like,
But very sliceable.
but also very sliceable because
Yes.
it was more like a slice.
So I was thinking if I
Yeah.
made it again, I would maybe rather than, because I did it in like a square tin, maybe do it in a couple of loaf tins.
Yeah.
And then like slice it up because it would make it like a really great dessert for like a bunch of people.
All right. Are you about to pull
I
these
think I
things
am.
out? Okay.
They've been in for all.
Let's have a look. How are they looking? Oh boy.
Pretty good. Some of them have probably.
Oh
Gotten
no,
a bit
they
too
are
close.
spectacular. Yep, beautiful. And what else have we got? Oh, well done, Dylan. Oh, I can see some like weird little ones and stuff. We might need to deal with those.
What I thought I would do.
Oh, you're putting a bit of sea
Just
salt
add
on
a
them.
little bit.
Ah, good,
Just some
good
sea
touch.
salt flakes.
Now this is fancy sea salt, isn't it?
It is. It's the Maldon.
Yeah. What is the go with that?
Well, it's.
I read
flaked.
about it. Is that the point? It's flaked.
Yeah, it's flaked and
Okay.
costs a lot more than.
So did you have any salt in the mixture?
Just a little bit of salt in the butter,
Right.
but I.
But not really.
Yeah, I held back on adding
Yeah, I got it.
salt.
Oh, they look beautiful, darling.
So that I could do this without it being too much.
Love it.
So I'll just let them cool down a smidgen. And then we will pop those on racks to cool.
Oh yeah. Does the little tiny one need going on a rack?
I think that's going to end up getting eaten if I am not misreading
The signals?
the signals of you picking it up and blowing on it. Because if you pick it up and blow on it and then put it back,
No. I think it's ready. I think it is ready. It is super hot, but it's firmed up. And it's a little bit more cooked than the other guys, so. You make a good cookie, hon.
it is going to be hard to put them out for church morning tea.
That is delicious. Brilliant.
Oh, it's such a good cookie.
They are very good. Nothing better than a cookie fresh out of the oven. Nothing better. Well done.
So I'm so super happy with how those cookies have turned out. As to whether or not they are going to make it into the freezer to grace the church morning tea table in a fortnight, I don't know. We'll see how they go for the rest of today. But I hope that if you are getting ready to head back to work, that you are able to also take a couple of moments this afternoon to really just get those bits and pieces prepared so that you're able to feel rested and refreshed as much as you possibly can heading into the new week and into the new year. And we can't wait to do this all again with you next week on Alongside Lauren.